Mississippi. And as high prices cause headaches for Americans, Democrat strategist James Carville going after his own party for their economic message or lack thereof to voters. Watch.
We keep wondering why these young people aren't coming home to the Democrats, why blacks are not coming home to the Democrats. Because Democratic messaging is full of that's why. And talk about cost of living. And we're going to help deal with this. And don't talk about GAFA and student loans.
I mean, when you have spittle, you're really fired up. Let's be real. Beverly Hallberg, president of District Media Group, fellow at the Independent Women's Forum. We're not going to be monitoring you for spittle, Beverly. But at the end of the day, he's right, isn't he?
He is right, and he is looking at the polling, as he just mentioned. When you take a look at the data, it looks like the advantage that Democrats typically have with minority voters continues to decline. And I think when you add to that President Joe Biden is older, people are questioning his mental ability to be able to do this job. There is much room for concern. So what he is saying to Democrats, especially the progressive extreme wing, stay away from the Israel-Gaza comments. Stick to things like the kitchen table issues, because even though wages have gone up, they have not outpaced inflation, and voters typically vote on what impacts them day to day. He's been doing this for a long time, and I think Democrats should definitely listen to him.
In the recent Quinnipiac poll among registered voters, the most urgent issue, to your point, facing the country was, you guessed it, the economy at 28%. And look down there, like you said, Beverly, the Israel and Hamas war only received 4%. But will Democrats heed your warning, heed James Carville's warning, or is their base just so fractured at this point that they are not coming together in the next 5 months?
I do think it's going to be difficult because the base is fractured. I think a lot of this, too, goes to the power of social media. You can have a few members of Congress. They're the female members of Congress on the Democrat side who are very vocal. They use social media very well, and they're able to get their own personal standpoint out there. They get a lot of airtime, and I think it's hard for parties to caucus these days with these competing social media outlets versus traditional media. And so the wrangling that we typically would see in the Democrat Party, especially when Nancy Pelosi was at the head of it, doesn't tend to happen these days. So I'm not sure that they will heed James Carville, and it could be to their own detriment.
Meantime, Hillary Clinton says she lost the 2016 race to Trump because women voters abandoned her for not being perfect. I love the long list of excuses. It's been like 7.5 years now. Hillary said, quote, "They left me because they just couldn't take a risk on me because as a woman, I'm supposed to be perfect. They were willing to take a risk on Trump, who had a long list of, let's call them flaws, to illustrate his imperfection because he was a man, and they could envision a man as president and commander in chief." Or, Beverly, could it be that she didn't go to Wisconsin?
Well, there's a lot of factors, and I do think that Hillary Clinton continues to lack self-reflection. Her list of people or entities she has blamed is now over 40, whether that's the media or Vladimir Putin. She's now adding women to the list, and she's saying to women, the reason you didn't vote for me was because I wasn't perfect. Actually, women vote for or against somebody for a lot of reasons, and they may be looking at her record, especially on Memorial Day, and say, well, you were Secretary of State when the tragedy happened at Benghazi, or maybe they don't like the fact that she did not support women who accused her husband of sexual impropriety, or maybe the fact that she's just not likable. And I think it's very insulting to women where she is out here saying, I am owed this vote because I'm a woman. She doesn't think she needs to earn that vote. This isn't going to help her, and I think actually points to the fact that she just can't look at herself.
Beverly Hallberg, thank you for getting up with us on a Memorial Day. We appreciate it. A transgender high school